And like that, we're off for Sink the Planet 2015. I know I'm like 7 minutes late, but my camera mount decided to give out on me, and I had to do a quick zip tie fix. This will be an interesting ride. I got an hour drive to work. Well, probably less, because no traffic at 4 in the morning here. But no one wants to watch a 40-minute video either, so there'll be a lot of editing, I believe. So, let's take a look at this. If I remember correctly, the topic of this one was world peace, which is an interesting topic. We can take that in a bunch of different ways. So after giving it a lot of thought, there's a couple different things I wanted to say about that. My basic understanding, there's a lot of things necessary for world peace to be able to ever actually happen. And one of those would be you have to figure out what the nature of man is. And that is a topic which has been debated in philosophy for years and centuries, and well, as far back as we could actually just think. So, without delving into all the philosophers and all their thoughts on it, mostly because it's 4 in the morning and I didn't do a lot of research on that, I am digging way back to what I can remember from philosophy classes I took 15 years ago, so I'm going to screw up names and I'm probably going to have to post things over this. But from what I recall, there's two thoughts. There's the one that says that by nature man is good, or obviously by nature man is evil. And for the good side, I'm pretty sure it was Rousseau, said that man by nature is good, but society and things are what turn him evil. By nature, man is social. He wants to be with other people, but I'm going off of my own thought process here. I would assume that means that to him, the idea of owning things or jealousy are what makes man turn away. So, moving off of that, there's a Chinese philosopher, Xun Kuang, something like that. I'll have to look it up. I'm a dirty American and I slaughter names. At the same time, though, I slaughter American names too, though, so I'm an equal opportunity dirtbag. But his philosophy was that man is evil from birth, but society is what makes him good. But for that to work, you have to understand what he meant by evil. And that's key in any debate on this kind of topic. You need to have a definition. To him, evil wasn't being bad to other people or, murderous rampages. To him, evil was just uncivilized. Uncivilized is his definition of what evil means. So by that, when you're born, you're uncivilized, you're brought on by nature, you have primal needs. But then as you get older, you learn to adapt more into society, which makes you good. Hey dude, I wonder if he's gonna cut me off at the light, going back to this good and evil. If he does, it means he can't read road signs, because making a cut across 3 lanes of traffic to get to this turn lane was... Let's see, what's he gonna do? Oh, good. My faith in humanity is restored for a minute. So I don't know. And then, then we can get into the funnier things like Voltaire, who just said, by nature man's an idiot, and then he walked through the marketplace, can prove it. I like him. I guess that gets right down to it, though. Can world peace be a thing if man is inherently evil? if man were inherently good, then it would only be necessary to remove those things in society and the world that make him evil, and you'd get there. But if man is inherently evil, then it would take a lot more to figure out what it would take to make him good. I don't have these answers. Some philosophers even went the route of saying that goodness comes from morality, which ultimately would lead you down the path of religion as a means of being good versus evil, which on a lot of levels makes sense, because religion is often a good versus evil kind of thing. But far more people nowadays would, well, even then probably, I don't know, would argue that religion is the cause of a lot of violence in our world, be it the Crusades, jihad, any number of things that don't draw people together necessarily in a good way. So I don't know. Is world peace possible? Maybe. You know, after the next meteor hits and everyone dies, I think that might... No, because, well, are we just talking about mankind? Because if we look at the animal kingdom, animals are out for lunch. They aren't concerned with what the other animals are thinking. A lion doesn't care what the antelope's worldview is. He just wants some food. But does that just mean that might makes right? Like so many people have said in the past, if nature doesn't care, does that mean nature is evil? Because it all gets down to our definition. So for world peace to occur, does that mean that we have to abolish nature? And if nature in general is evil, and mankind is an animal from the animal kingdom, then is it society that makes us good? And through society, would we then be able to achieve world peace? It's a tough call, because I know in my life I have done some pretty horrible things, and I've definitely been a party to some pretty horrible things in the name of justice, peace. But did I ever accomplish anything? Well, there were definite outcomes, but an accomplishment in the way of peace, I don't think I did. Other than it being ridiculously windy on the highway. I often avoid the highway because it takes me past an oil refinery and that oil refinery brings back some pretty horrible memories. I spent over a year in Iraq working next to the oil fields in Kirkuk, and arguably it is those trips that I took there that brought about my eventual retirement from the military. And I did not make it my 20 years. I was retired for PTSD, as I've said in past videos. So maybe my viewpoint is slanted to begin with. I'm just a guy. I'm not an authoritative source on anything, and that's really all you can hope for, I think. Going back to the good versus evil thing, I don't think there's enough good in the world to overcome evil at this point. Two people can look at the same thing and come out with truth about it that is not the same because of the way they look at it. Under that understanding, we would need to be more accepting of other people's viewpoints, even if they don't match our own, which in and of itself is very difficult. I guess to quote one of my favorite movies, Apocalypse Now, there's a struggle in every man between the moral and the immoral, good and evil, and good does not always triumph. But what have I done for world peace as a person? Like I alluded to earlier, I have done a lot of things in the name of world peace, in the name of justice. I don't know how many of them are valid. I don't know how many truly made a difference. I know how many of them keep me up at night. What proof do I have that I have contributed in some glorious way towards world peace? None. As the world keeps going, and there's still good, there's still evil, And from most standpoints, you need them both. You need to have good and you need to have evil in balance. But if you have that, then there will never be peace, because that's an eternal struggle. So I don't know. I think that's a good place to leave it. That even if world peace were achievable, which, as I said, I like to believe it could be, I don't think it should be. For harmony in any system, there needs to be two opposing forces, a good and an evil. And I don't believe you can have world peace unless evil were destroyed. But without evil, you would upset balance and harmony. Thanks for watching, everyone.